Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video we got our hands on some new kit that we're going to look at. We're going to be looking at BlackMagic's Web Presenter HD. So let's go. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member by clicking one of the links down below. So I am pleasantly surprised by this. I have a church that we're going to be installing some cameras on Tuesday that were a part of my vlog, but you didn't see it because I never posted it. But this is going to be with Faith Family Worship Center here in Richmond, up the street from me, and they want me to come and install some cameras and all this other stuff for them to update their equipment. And they are going to be using a Roland V60HD, I believe, as their switcher of choice, but it does not support live streaming. So what he decided to do, he went ahead and did research himself and decided on getting the Web Presenter HD instead of having a dedicated system, because this is a hardware encoder that can handle that streaming. So he called me up today and said, "Hey, AJ, would you like to, get your hands on this and do a review before you install it on Tuesday, since you're going to be here anyway?" Sure. So I literally just got it from him. It is 8:46 p.m. on Thursday. I just went and picked it up from him. And so thank you so much, Faith Family Worship Center. And let's go ahead and crack this thing open, because he literally just got it and he handed it over to me. So thank you so much. So let's cut over and see what's inside. All right, here it is. The BlackMagic, well, which way I'm going to do it? I'll do it this way. The BlackMagic Web Presenter HD. Honestly, the first one, the Web Presenter, I never really encouraged people to get, only because it was limited at 720p. This one can go higher than that. It actually has gotten some updates similar to the ATEM Mini, to where now you can hook up your phone as a tether and use that to stream as well. But more than that, let's go ahead and open this up. So this is a hardware encoder. So its main job is doing all of the heavy lifting that a dedicated live streaming system would normally do. All right, so let's open this up here and let's check it out. And this is honestly the first time I've ever really messed with one of these, but it's good I got it in advance since I'm going to be installing it. All right, so we got the typical stuff that comes with it. Talking about DaVinci Resolve, the installer software. Always download it because it's most likely more up to date. Got a sticker here. DaVinci Resolve 17. Information guide. Alrighty, and here it is. A little dusty right there, but yeah, straightforward. It almost looks like the miniature version. Originally, I think also this front panel did not come with it. You had to buy it separately, but it does include this. So got 6 buttons here: on, air, menu, set, lock, off, call, similar to what the HyperDeck Shuttle Studio Mini, whatever it's called, that we have at our church works. You have a guide wheel here. It does not press in. It's just pretty much just a turn wheel and a knob here. And you got your screen. You got your USB here, which is really, really, really recessed, but it is a USB-C all the way up in there. All right, let's go ahead and flip it over. And we got a regular PC power cord. We got a 12-volt DC. We have an Ethernet connection, another USB-C for webcam out, acts just like the ATEM. We have a monitor out, which is going to be cool. SDI in, monitor out over SDI, and an SDI loop out. So that's really straightforward. Now, when you get something like this, you need to be aware it does not include a power cable, Ethernet cables. USB-C cables, HDMI, nothing. You just get the device and you get some feet to go with it. I don't know if I need to install these, so I'll just leave this here. But let's go ahead and hook this up to our system, and I'm going to do the monitor out into one of my inputs for the ATEM so you can see what's going on with it. So let's go ahead and get that set up. All right, so we got everything set up, but we need to go ahead and download the drivers. I am here over at BlackMagic site. Let's go over here to setup, and we're going to do streaming and encoding. And it looks like it had an update. So I'm going to go ahead and download that because I need the drivers for it to show up and me recognize. So while it's doing that, let me go ahead and open up my camera, and it actually is detected already. I have the, what you're seeing right now is I have my PTZOptics that's right there plugged in over SDI, and this is what you're seeing from the input. So it actually detects. So, all right, that finished downloading. Let's go ahead and open up OBS, and I want to see what it shows up on the screen as well too. So I'm here. Let's go here and let's see what shows up. So it actually shows up as Web Presenter HD. Okay, so it's already straightforward. Now that's cool because it just shows up as a webcam. But if we want to do any interaction with it, we need to have the software installed. So let's go ahead and extract that, and then we're going to get that installed. Let's go ahead and close all of this since we don't need it now. Run through this install real quick. All right, that was very quick. And here is the app that came with it. All right. So let's see what's inside of here. So it says right now I am connected over USB and the network. I have both plugged in. Let's go here to our settings, and it does need to do an update. So let me go ahead and push that update now. It does have a fan in here. It just kicked in and I just heard it rev up here. Now, I don't have any type of sensors or anything like that detect the noise of this. That fan is loud. But again, I normally keep a fan on under the table because of all the lights and electronics I have blowing up on me. So I would say it's just about as loud as this fan that I have on max under the table. So not really that bad. Now, while it's doing this update, what is this device for? Like, again, we use an ATEM Television Studio HD at my church that has no live streaming functionality at all. We send that out to our HyperDeck shuttle, and then that also is sent to our live streaming system over a DeckLink mini recorder 4K. Now, technically, this device would remove the need of using any form of streaming PC at all, but realize that all of the functionality that you would have that with OBS and layers and all this other stuff would have to solely be done with the ATEM switcher itself. So is that possible? Yes. I personally haven't thought about moving to that yet. But I think for the price that this is going for, and while I'm doing that, let me look up the price because I don't remember how much it actually is off the top of my head. Let's go here. All right, so it's going for $495. That's not bad because I think the DeckLink mini recorder by itself is $195. So let's just say that's $200. And then a good processor, you can't find the Ryzen 3 3200G anywhere. But if you get the 3400G, that's $170. You're already at $400 right there. And you throw in a case, power supply, hard drive, operating system, memory, you've already blown past that. So this might be a good option for a dedicated streaming solution, but you just need to know the strengths and weaknesses of what comes with it. All right, so let's go ahead and close that out. And now we're in our controls here. So we have stream standard. So we can set our resolution so that compared to the A10 Mini, see, this one actually does 720, ranging from 25 frames per second up to 60, and then at 1080p at 2398 all the way up to 60. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that at 1080p 60, and then load streaming settings. So if you had these set as a XML file or something like that, you can import them. And also here, you could natively pick your platform of choice, similar to just like the A10 Mini Pro and higher. By default, they have Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, and Restream.io built in. I'm wondering, do you have the option of making, modifying the XML so that you can add something like Vimeo or something like that? So let me see. Okay, web presenter. And we're looking for Server XML platforms. No. I'm sure if this is built off the same thing, it may have it. Let's try something else. App data folder. BlackMagic. Yeah, I'm not seeing it directly. I would have thought it would have something like that, but I don't know. We'll have to research that later. But we have that on. You can turn the live stream on and off from here. Okay, let's go to setup. All right, we can give it a name. We can know our version. We can set our audio, our language, our DHCP, the pull IP address, what's our connection priority, mobile. That's interesting. So again, it can pull off of your phone if you wanted to do that. But anyway, let's go ahead and save. And I'm wondering, does it come with any additional software outside of that? I'm looking at my folder right now, and the only thing I have is that web presenter setup is the only application that was installed. So, so I guess from here you would have to set your stream key and all this other good stuff here. So let me go ahead and put in some information into YouTube, and I'm going to actually do a private stream here, and I want to see what this will do. I personally would like if I can point it to some other platform. Would you like? Okay, that lets you remove all the settings. I don't necessarily want to do that. I'm gonna come over here to YouTube here, and we're going to go live, and let's make a new one. Create new. I would say this is private, and say ATEM, not ATEM, BlackMagic Design Web Presenter HD Test. Alrighty. And that's all private and all this other cool stuff. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to create a new key. I'll say test, private test stream, so I can keep this for further use. Streaming protocol. All right, so I'll just create that so that way I won't overwrite anything else that I'm doing. All right, so we're going to copy that code out, and I'm going to paste it in, and obviously it's going to be blacked out so you can't see it, or blurred out. All right, so now we got that saved. So at this point, I am going to come over here and on the device here, we're going to go ahead and do on air. All right, it says we're at 9.1 megabits. That's really good. And if we cut over here, it says it's picking up a signal. All right, that's private. I'll go live because, again, this is a private stream. All right, so that's cool. And I got my remote over here. So I have it looking at the back of my head here. All right, so it's going pretty good right now. Nothing really, you see me barely moving it there. All right, that's good. So what we're going to do now is let's cut over to the interface of what's actually shown on the device itself. And if we'll cut over to that, this is the interface of the web presenter. This is the monitor out. All right, so here on our features, we got our live streaming platform. It gives us a couple of letters of the key, our primary server, our streaming quality, which is, I didn't see where that was. Oh, it was right there. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so that's how you can set your stream quality. What else? We got a bunch of information. Our input is coming in at 1080p. We have no audio input because I don't have any audio being routed to it, but this will give you everything that you need to see what the status of what's going on. Now, I'll be honest, this is a whole lot better than just gives you way more information than OBS or something like that, where it just gives you colors to tell you the status of what's going on. But again, maybe this would take you a little bit of getting used to, but as long as you have some type of persistent key set up, you rarely would have to change this. And I do like the fact that this is very simple. I would just have to think, for me, because I've been using OBS and vMix for so long, I would have to change my workflow on how I would do this, which is not a bad thing. There are purposes for this. So because of their switcher has no functionality to live stream itself, and it only has SDI out and an HDMI out, I believe, we can come in SDI into this, and then this will handle all the heavy lifting. But the training would be having some type of computer hooked up to it to do, if you wanted to do a countdown, that would have to be played through some presentation software or a computer that has just a video playing. And it's doable. It's very doable. Again, I wouldn't mind doing something like this at my church because it would remove the need of having a system. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I personally don't like hardware encoders, but maybe those days are gone. The reason I didn't like them is early on, there used to not be a secure protocol to live stream. That was RTMPS. That was an option. But when Facebook made that change, a lot of these hardware encoders were hard coded to the unsecure setting. So you had to wait for the vendors to update it before you can use it again. So it knocked a lot of people out. That was including Boxcast, a bunch of other products like that. That's the reason why I didn't like it. But most of these devices have been updated to support secure streaming protocols. So that shouldn't be an issue. But again, if something radically changed, you're waiting on BlackMagic or whoever vendor to push an update to this to support it. But again, I don't think I can't predict the future. We can change to anything, but that's my only caveat. And especially with software updates come out a little bit faster than the firmware that could possibly go into a device like this. But I will say, from a simplicity standpoint, this is really, really cool. So let me go ahead and stop the stream now. So I'm going to just do off on here. Now, let's go ahead and let me switch over to the camera, overhead camera, and I'm going to have to zoom into this and we can look through the menu, what comes on here. So if we go to the menu here, so we have our output. And if we wanted to go into anything, we would hit set. And now we can scroll through here. And it actually tells my stream key right there. I would not want to enter a stream key on this console. That would be a pain. Menu to back up. Scroll over. We have setup. What else is in here? Pretty much everything that we did in the software, you could make adjustments here. And that's really all it is. It's just the menu and setup and then live stream. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to disconnect. Oh, and also, if you wanted to know, I did test this. This, like the Hyperdeck Shuttle Mini, can be powered with PoE. This cannot. I did not get anything with the PoE connection off of this. So, no, it does not work. But I will test it again just to make sure. Let me unplug my camera here that is PoE. And can that cable reach? I think it can. Let's try that. All right, so it can reach over here. I'm going to unplug the power here. And we're going to connect it to see, do we get anything? Nope, it does not support PoE. And just to show you, I'm going to plug this back into the camera and it should power on. And there you can see it's moving. So that's PoE. All right. Now, the other thing that I want to test is I want to test its ability to see what it looks like if you hook up a phone to it. So I have a USB-C cable over here. C to C. And I'm going to hook my phone up to this Galaxy S10. I'm going to switch this. Let's open up this front here and let's go ahead and see if we can see what happens when we plug this up. All right, we're connected there. And now let me put my phone in tether mode. So we're going to do USB tethering. All right, so that's done. Let me go ahead and start on air. Okay, so now we're on air right now. As you can see, we are streaming. And we are not connected. I mean, it's pulling an IP address, but the IP address is coming from my phone. So that's strange. But as you can see, I mean, we're streaming perfectly fine here. The stream health says it's excellent. Yeah, that part I'm not 100% sure on. So let me try it. Let me stop it one more time and let's see if I can get my screen. So we stopped there. Let's unplug the power here. Let's plug it back up here. Yeah, that's weird because now the screen is showing up. I don't know if it's because of me recording or not, but if we cut over here. All right, so let's go ahead and start it one more time. So we are streaming off of phone and trying to see, does it say how we're connected on here? Yeah, see, it doesn't say. All right, so it cached for a little bit because it was waiting for a signal. Oh, it's caching because when I disconnected, it lost the signal. Okay, now you see it. You see the little icon here in the upper right-hand corner that it's saying it's off of the phone. Okay. So that's cool. So, I mean, you could plug your phone into the front as a backup just in case. Now, I do like that because if your internet goes down at church or something like that, you can just plug your phone in and put it in tether mode. And if your internet is fine, you have no problems. If you drop, then you have a problem. So if I cut back over here again, we're streaming. I'm going to go ahead and connect back my network cable here. And let's see which one it does when we plug it back in. All right, so we got a signal. Let's see. Is it going to stay on the phone? I think it probably will because of the settings that we have in the software that says that the phone is the priority. Let's go ahead and switch back over to the desktop. Let's go to settings. Let's see. Can we make that change? Let's say connection priority is Ethernet and save. Now, does it switch? No, it doesn't. But let's see how much of a dip happens if I turn off the mobile hotspot, the tethering. I just turned it off and it was fluid. Like it just went away and not even a dip. Okay, there was the dip for a second, but then it's right back up. So that's awesome. That's a lot more fluid than it would be like on a computer. If you had to hook, I mean, you could do the same thing with a computer, but I just don't know how graceful it would switch over. But, man, thank you so much, Faith Family Worship Center. I think this is going to be cool. And again, I will bring y'all along with me when we're installing this and we're going to see the end result of how this all works. There will be a link in the description if you're interested in getting one of these things. Again, the retail price is $495. And obviously it is available because we have it right here in front of me, which reminds me, I guess I need to go ahead and pre-order that ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. Maybe I'll wait on that one, but I am going to move over to that one. But again, thank you so much. Let me stop the stream here and end it here on YouTube. But yeah, really cool. I had my doubts originally, but I think they did some significant updates to this that makes this awesome. This will be if our computer ever cut out, I would think about doing something like this. And then we would have to reinvent how we do stuff. So our countdown, maybe we would play that through ProPresenter or Presenter or whatever software that you got. Send that and the audio for that channel here so you can see that same thing. And then when you cut over, you would cut over to, and then I think that will work because technically we are doing everything, at least at my church, except for the ending scene and the intro. And you could actually play those from your hyperdeck if you had it routed into your system. But anyway, that's me just thinking out loud. Again, thank you so much, Faith Family Worship Center. We're going to be installing this on Tuesday, and hopefully this would get y'all up and running rock solid because you can point this to Restream, and you can do multiple platforms at the same time too. So If you like this type of content, I appreciate a like. Consider subscribing and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. I want to thank the patrons and the YouTube members for making this video possible. Their names on the screen right now. And you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ, and we will see you on the next video. Later.